Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vicky and today you're joining me to make this really beautiful little bracelet. It's a very quick to make bracelet. It works up quickly and looks really stunning when on. You can see it's got a tiny bit of sparkle in it coming from these little Preciosa 4mm Chaton Montes, which just gives it a nice little appeal. Just a little bit of sparkle, but not too much sparkle, so it's very wearable. You could pop this on daily with most outfits and just go, essentially. And yes, that is what we're making today. Now, I was very kindly gifted some of the Preciosa 4mm Chaton Monte bundles. So this bundle is the Moon and Sun bundle, and Beading School sent these to me to have a little play with, and I was just in love, absolutely in love. As you can see, they are just full to the brim with lots of different colours of Chaton Montes in a 4mm. And this one is the Moon box, so they're a bit more of a colder tone. So you have your blues, your crystal, black diamonds, that kind of thing in that one. And then in the Sun box, as you probably guessed, it's more warmer tones, so all the rays of the sun are in here. And again, absolutely full to the brim with little packets of these Chaton Montes in oranges, reds, greens, browns, purples. There's just so many nice colours. They also sent me a few packets of the Gekko beads. So just some lovely colours of geckos. Ooh, dropped that one. And they are really nice to use. I'd never really used geckos before, so these were new to me, and I knew I wanted to use them with the Chaton Montes, so that's what I did. And here we have the result, and I've just dropped one on my mat and knocked all my little 15s, so that's just to scoop them back up there so we can talk about what you're going to need to make this bracelet. Okay, so today you will need a size 11 seed bead, a size 15 seed bead, a 3x5mm Gekko bead, and a 4mm Preciosa Chaton Monte. I've got a little lobster clasp and a couple of jump rings. I'm not going to make the full bracelet today because obviously I've made one, and I'm just going to demonstrate how to do the piece from the clasp loop essentially to a couple of these links, so you'll know how to make a full one once you're done. I will put all the description of the beads down in the description list. I'll list the bundles so you can go and check them out. I will also list the Chaton Montes separately, so in case you just want a couple of packets rather than the full bundles. So yes, I will do that now. Well, in the minute, once I've finished the video, actually, saying now, in the minute. I'm also using a size 12 needle, and I'm using £6 fire line. I've started with when I started the bracelet, I started with a wingspan of thread. So if you're comfortable starting with a wingspan of thread, then that's something to do. If not, use whatever size you're comfortable with, whatever length that you feel like you want to use. You will probably need to add in, even if you use a wingspan of thread, because it did take a bit more thread than that. So just be aware of that as you're going, that you may need to add thread. Okay, let's get started. So to start, we're going to pick up one size 15, one size 11, one size 15 and one size 11, like so. We're going to drop them all the way down to the end of our thread, leaving about a 20cm tail, and we're leaving that tail because we're going to add the little bit of bracelet, so this part of the bracelet here and this loop using our tail thread. So leave that 20cm tail. I'm going to take my needle back up all 4 beads again. So back up from the tail end, all 4 beads, and pull through. And then I'm just going to go into that 15, the first 15 again, and pull tight. Okay, so you can see I've got this little unit of 2 size 11s and 2 size 15s. I'm going to hold that tight because I'm now going to pick up one of my Preciosa Montes. Now, the orientation of the bead does matter. So if you think of the Monte the way I'm going to use it, as a square, and you'll have your claws on each corner rather than the diamond shape like that. So you're going to look at it as a square. And we're just going to take the needle right through. Let me pick my needle back up. Oh, let's just grab that. It's not easy to do that way. We're just going to take our needle right through the center hole, like so. And we're going to take that down to that size 15. And then I'm just going to pick up another size 15. And I'm going to go back through the hole I've just used on the Monty, like so. And pull through, and then snug that up to the 15 that we started from. So that Monty should be sitting next to that 15 and have this 15 coming out of it. I'm now going to go back into the 15 I've just started from the opposite side, so that I have the thread either side of my 15, like so. And pull through. Okay. And that's how your work should look like now. You should have that little unit with the 11s sitting next to this Monty and a 15 on the other side. And now I'm just going to turn over so you can see which way I'm going. So I'm coming out of this 15. I'm just going to take my needle through the Monty, the hole we've already gone through, but straight into the top hole essentially. So if you look at it that way, this is still our square and we're going through that top hole on the back of the Monty. Turn back to the front and pull through. Make sure your thread doesn't get caught around your beads. Okay, so you should be coming out of the top hole of this Monty now. And now I'm going to pick up one size 11, 3 geckos and one size 11, like so. So one size 11, 3 geckos and one size 11. And coming out of this top hole, I'm going to take my needle straight through, back into the Monty and straight through that hole. So I'm coming out the bottom of the Monty. And pull tight. And that's how your work should look now. You should have these 2 size 11s pretty much sitting side by side on the top of this Monty. You may have to give them a little wiggle to get them to sit into place, but they will sit there. We're going to go through them again a few more times, so don't worry if they're not fully sitting in place. And I'm going to repeat that again. I'm going to pick up one size 11, 3 gecko beads and one size 11, and I'm going to go back up the Monty and into the first 11 and the first gecko on the other side. So straight back up that Monty and into through the first 11 and through the first gecko on the other side, and pull. And again, just snug them up to your Monty so that they sit pretty much side by side on this side of your Monty. And again, they will get tighter as we go through, because we are going to go through them a couple more times. So your work should now look like this. I'm now going to pick up one size 15. And I'm going to take my needle into the next gecko along, so that that 15 will sit between our 2 geckos. Pull through. So now you can see that 15 is sat there between them 2 geckos. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to pick up one 15, and I'm going to go into my next gecko along and into the first, well, this 11 after the gecko I'm coming out of now. So like that, and pull through. I'm now going to pick up one 15, so I'm not going back down the Monty. I'm still coming out of this size 11, and I've picked up one 15, and I'm going to go into that 15 that we used earlier, that we picked up earlier on the side of the Monty. I'm going to go into that 15, like so. And pull through, and then I'm going to pick up one 15, and I'm going to go into the 11, so I'm not going into the Monty, into the 11 and through the first gecko on this side. So let me just weave that through like so, and pull through. And now you can see we've got this set of 3 15s here on this side of our Monty. And we're just going to tighten all that up by just giving it a little pull here and there, making everything nice and neat. Okay, so I'm just going to, no, work that way still. So I'm now going to put these 15s in between our geckos. So picking up one 15 and go into the next gecko along, like so. And pull through and repeat again. Pick up one 15 and go into the next gecko along and into the size 11 afterwards, like so, and pull through. Move my tail thread out the way. And now I'm going to repeat the 2 15s that I've put on this side, but on this side where our first little link is here. So I'm going to pick up one 15 and go into that 15 on this side, and pull through. Make sure your thread doesn't get tangled around your beads. And then I'm going to pick up one 15 and I'm going to go into the 11 before the gecko on this top side. So I think it might be getting a bit tight now, so you may have to wiggle your needle through. There we go. And pull through. So you will now have 3 15s on this side and 3 15s on this side. And just pull everything nice and tight so it all sits lovely. And that's how your piece should look now. So we've just added 15s on this side, 15s here, 15s on this side. Now I'm going to weave through all my beads until I'm coming out of this middle 15 on this side. So go through all your beads until you're coming out of that middle 15. Weave through my gecko, my 15, my gecko, into the next 15, into the gecko, into the 11, and then through the 2 15s. So the 15 you're going to be coming out of was that one that you added earlier when you picked up your Monty, and then you picked up that 15. That's the one you should be coming out of, as you can see here. I'm now going to do the little bit of chain that sits between this embellishment part, because that's essentially done. So I'm going to pick up 1 11, 1 15, 1 11, like so. And I'm just going to go back through the 15 I'm coming out of from the opposite side. You may find that your 15s get a little bit tight. If you want to size down on your needle, do so, rather than battling with the 15s, because you could break a bead. Okay, so now you can see that my size 11, size 15, size 11 are now connected to this 15, which is essentially what we've got here. I'm now going to go through the 11 and into the new 15, and I'm going to pick up 1 11, 1 15, 1 11, like so. And I'm going to go back through the 15 from the opposite side to create another right angle weave, because that's what we're working on right this minute. These are little right angle weave units. And I'm going to go through the 11 and through the 15, like so. So you now see that we've got these 15s sitting between our 11s. And I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to pick up 1 11, 1 15, 1 11. I'm going to go back through the 15 I'm coming out of. Oh, I've not picked up enough beads. Let's go back through them again. So go and pick up my extra size 11. So an 11, 15, 11, and then back through that 15 I'm coming out of. And then I'm going to go through the 11, through the 15, the new 15, the new 11, but this time I'm going to go into the next 11 along. So on this unit, I'm going to go through that 11, through that 15, and into this 11 here, like so. So I'm coming out of this 11. I'm going to pick up one size 11 and go into the next 11 along, like so. So now you can see we're starting to get this kind of like a little flower motif here. I'm going to pick up one size 11 and go into the next 11 along, like so. And now your work should look like this. You should have these two new 11s in place between the 11s. And now I'm going to go back into the 15 that we started from when we started doing our bit of chain. Now again, this might be getting really tight, this one now, so if you do want to size down to a smaller needle, this is the time to do it. Size 12 still going through for me, which is good. And into the first 11 on the other side to where we've just put our new 11s. So I'm now coming out of this size 11 here. I'm now going to pick up one size 11 and go into the next 11 along. And I'm going to pick up one size 11 and go into the next 11 along. And that's the little bit of chain complete between our Chaton Montes and our geckos. I'll just pick up the bracelet and show you what I mean. So if you look at this, you can see that that chain there matches up here. And now we're just going to repeat doing our little Monty gecko part. So it's exactly the same as what we did here when we came off this size 15. So I'm going to go into that size 15 and I'm going to pick up one Chaton Monty and one 15. I'm going to drop them all the way down to my 15 I'm coming out of, like so. I'm going to take my needle back through the Monty and pull tight. And then I'm going to go back into the 15 from the opposite side, like so. I'm going to flip over my piece, so we're back working just on the back for a second, while I take my needle through the hole I've just come out of on the Monty and into that top hole, like so. So as you can see, if I go back round with the needle still in place, you can see I'm coming out of the top hole, from the side hole to the top hole, and pull through. And then I'm going to repeat adding my 11s, 11 geckos and 11. So one size 11, 3 geckos, one size 11. And I'm going to go down the Monty. So this is exactly the same as what we've just done here. So down the Monty and pull through. Use a tail thread and just line them up nicely. Give them a little tug into place, like so. And then it's one size 11, 3 geckos, one size 11. And go back up the Monty through the size 11 and through your first gecko, like so. And pull tight. Pick up 115 and go into the next gecko along. So that's 115. And then pick up 115 and go into the next gecko along and the size 11 after, like so. And then we're going to pick up 115 and go into that side 15 next to the Monty, like so. And again, 115 and through the 11 and the Gekko on this side. And pull tight. And then we're going to add these 15s between the Gekko on the bottom. So picking up 115, go through the next Gekko along. And pick up 115 and go through the next Gekko along in the size 11. And now we're going to add the 15s on this side. So picking up 115, we're going to go into that 15 on this side. That's connected to our bracelet join. And then we're going to pick up 115 and go into the 11 through the Gekko 15, Gekko 15, Gekko 11 and the two 15s on this side. So through all these beads. So you can see I've gone into the 11, into the Gekko, and then through the 15, through the Gekko, through the 15, through the Gekko, through the 11, and through the next two 15s until you're coming out of that middle 15 that's attached to your Chaton Monty on this side, and pull tight. And now we have two little motifs in place. If you feel like your 11s aren't sitting as nice as you want them, you can go through the 11s and the Monty again just to pull it all in nice and tightly. When demonstrating, it's not always easy to get the exact tightness you'd want if you were sitting there really tugging at it when you're making pieces to keep good tension. So if you feel like you want to go through these again, do so. But yes, that's how your piece should look now. Now I'm going to add this little motif again. So I'm just going to repeat from adding my 11, 15, 11. So coming out that middle 15, 11, 15, 11. But this time I'm going to put the clasp loop on. So coming out to that 15, I've picked up my 11, 15, 11, and I'm just going to go back in from the opposite side, exactly the same way I did here. And then through the first 11 and the first 15, 11, 15, 11, and go back through that 15, working in right angle weave, go through the 11 and through the 15, and then once more, 11, 15, 11, and back through the 15 you're coming out of, like so, and then through the 11, through the 15, and through the 11. So you're coming out of this top 11 here, and we're now going to add these two beads as we did previously. So picking up one, size 11, go into the next 11 along, and pull through, like so. And pick up one size 11, and go through the next 11 along, and pull through. So we've got these two beads in place. Go through that middle 15 that's next to the chaton, like so. Again, it might be a little bit tight, be gentle. Into the 11 on the bottom. And we're going to add them two size 11s again. Picking up one, go into the next 11 along, and pull through. Picking up one, go into the next 11 along, like so. And again, that's your little chain there. And now we're going to go into that 15. So to do our little loop, which is on this side, I'm going to pick up 6 size 11s. And you may want to add an extra couple of these little links here. You just do the right angle weave, 11, 15, 11, and then add the 11s in for as many as you need to get your length essentially. Or you might have only needed one, so it does still work the same. You may have only needed to add 2 right angle weave stitches. Do what's right for you. So I've now picked up my 6 size 11s, coming out of that side to that 15. I'm just going to go straight back in from the opposite side again, like so. So now I have this little loop of 6, and I'm going to go through the first 11 on this loop of 6. Come on, like so, and pull through. And now I'm going to pick up 115, and I'm going to go through the next 11 along, like so, and then 115, and go through the next 11 along, and you're just going to repeat that for another 1, 2, 3 more times. Go into the last 11 and back into the 15 and pull tight, and that is your little loop. Obviously you'll only add this little loop once you've done your bracelet to its length. But yes, that's your little loop, and then you'll pop on a jump ring and a clasp, and your bracelet will be complete on that side. When it comes to the other side, you'll use your tail thread and you will complete the next 2 stitches, because obviously we already have that first stitch in place. So you will just complete 2 more right angle weave stitches on this side before adding in your 4 11s, the 2 on that side, 2 on that side, and then the clasp loop. But you already have your first stitch in place there. Okay, so continue making your length until it's long enough for your bracelet, and then yes, that will be you complete. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please drop me a thumbs up or a like, and if you want to see more content from me, press that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye now.